Today we are doing the big EVA where we're going to be going to the lake. So I'm going to be going with Manos and also Mikhail to the lake which is on the other side of the cave. So this is where we haven't been before at all. It's on the opposite direction of the Astro Gate, the opposite direction of the entrance. Why is my hair looking mental? Don't judge me, I live in a cave. We've had a read over the protocol for collecting samples around the lake, which is why we're going. We're going to collect some samples, see what kind of life is near the lake, in the lake, and then come back here and study it in the lab over there. So the reason that we're going to the lake is to try and understand what kind of life is in and around the lake and what this condition is like. So we're going to assess the pH, the light intensity, the temperature, and we're going to do that when we come back here. And this could be quite useful for understanding what kind of life can actually continue to live in conditions, extreme conditions like a cave, especially where we're going, where it's going to be extremely dark, where there isn't much light or if any light, whether life can still exist in this extreme environment. The days feel a bit blurred because we can't see daylight within a cave. We can't see any light. The only light that we have is the light around here in the habitat. The only way we know what time it is obviously with the clocks on our phones. Yesterday, when I came back from the short EVA and I looked at the time, I was shocked. I thought it was 7 p.m. and it was 1 p.m. So the way time passes is completely different from how time passes out there, like in the real world. And I think part of that reason is because I'm disconnected from the world. I don't have access to the internet. I don't have access to social media. And it just really makes me think like how much time I spend on these apps and like how they change the perception I have with time. But the good thing about this is that I feel like my imagination has gotten a bit better, which is a bit weird. Like I noticed when I was doing the cognitive performance tests, I was able to memorize certain pictures with like a bit more imagination that I think I would have been able to. There's been some moments where I felt like I was connecting with the cave, like when I was, I know you're laughing at me, but like there's been some moments where I felt like I was connecting with the cave. So I'm with Saba, by the way. Hey.
I don't know if I want to be part of this cave.
See, this is the thing. You need to let the cave in. The way the cave let you in.
It's fucking up my lungs. It's all the way in. It's like in here, it's in here. I can hang out outside of the cave. I feel like that would be more enjoyable.
For breakfast today, we have one of my favorites, organic porridge with apple, cranberry, cinnamon, and chia seeds. This is what it looks like, but trust me, it tastes better than it looks. Good, Ophir?
Delicious.
Amazing. Mash and cheese.
Mash and cheese.
Saba?
I have some soup. That's actually more like a mush.
Nice.
That's not bad.
Okay.
It's better than the emergency. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that experience.
It's good. It's alright.
Yeah?
I don't mind it.
And Mikhail?
Amazing beef stroganoff.
Beef stroganoff, look at that.
Best meal of Mars.
Best meal of Mars so far.
A fire spice chicken.
Spice chicken?
It's not bad.
Without mayo.
Without mayo, it could do with some mayonnaise because I'm weird like that and I like my rice dishes with mayo, but it's not bad.
No, for me, ketchup, mustard. I'm super fan of every kind of mustard.
So we are getting ready for our big EVA to the lake. We're about to go on a trek of a lifetime to the deep lake. Last time my beeline equipment wasn't working, so the question is, will it work today? This is going to be the most dangerous cave walk we have done so far. Wish me luck. So we're just preparing for our mission with Miguel and Manos. We are going to the lake and we are just getting suited up. So that's Manos, Ophir and Miguel.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you feel Marco? Biggie?
To get to the deep lake first, we have to climb this wall, and it's about 10 meters high. Now my helmet impairs my vision. I'm really struggling to see where my feet are going here, so I have to really rely on my crew for guidance. Next, we get to the checkpoint Bravo base, the second astroland base in the cave, a lot smaller but a vital resting point. And you can see here that the cave wall is about 3 times the size of the first.
Tiramisu is there.
Unfortunately, there was no tiramisu in Bravo base, but outside the base we were overwhelmed by the absolute beauty of the cave. Our first sample of the mission was taken here, of this stunning blue growth inside a rock right next to Bravo base. Here I'm carving out some of the biofilm and putting it inside a test tube. Michael, our plant biologist, takes some more samples. Now some will be tested back at base by the crew and I, and other samples will be sent to scientists to test and analyze after our mission ends. There are so many places in this cave that have been unexplored, and it's really important that when we do take samples that we capture the conditions that they are in, so we can figure out what conditions can allow life to exist. Doesn't matter how extreme it can be. Do you see those long pointy structures hanging down? Those are stalactites. They're like icicles made of rock. How cool is this? A small hole that I found on a cave wall. It's only a few centimeters in height and width. I wonder what's inside. Look at this tiny stalactite. After trekking for an hour, climbing 2 cave walls and walking through thick mud, we made it to the deep lake. You can see that the lake is still and clear, and even though it looks small, it actually curves around the cave wall and continues onwards to, I'm not really sure where. Here I'm taking 2 water samples at the front of the lake. Each one of us takes a few water samples at different spots of the lake. We're trying to see if life exists in this lake. This is absolutely stunning. By the time we did reach the lake, most of our suits were covered with mud from the trek here, and we were tired. Samples collected, it's time to go. On the way back, we saw some more stalactites, and here's the secrets behind stalactites. They're formed over hundreds, even thousands of years, drop by tiny drop. Water from rain or underground sources seeps through the soil and rocks above the cave. The water is often mixed with minerals like calcium carbonate. Now as the water trickles down into the cave, something pretty crazy happens. It leaves behind a tiny bit of mineral each time it drips from the ceiling. And over time these minerals build up and up, forming these awesome stalactites. It's like nature slowly sculpting them one drop at a time. Now here's a pretty fun fact, stalactites don't grow forever. When a stalactite reaches the ground of the cave, it stops growing and forms what's called a stalagmite. So if you ever see a stalagmite in a cave, remember that it started off as a stalactite hanging from above. Some of the larger stalactites can be thousands or even tens of thousands of years old, and this one here is stunning. This video does not do it justice. When I put my hand on this stalactite, it felt ice cold, but that was super refreshing after a long trek. Nearly home, only one big obstacle left, climbing down the slippery cave walls. And it is a lot harder to climb down than to climb up. And this is because of the way that the helmet affected our vision when we were climbing. And as you can see on the right, we're nearly home. Our station. Back in the airlock, and check out my flight suit with all the badges that come with it. Here is the mission patch, the Libra mission Biogender 2 mission that we're on, and my home flag. Oh, do not apologize. By the time we got back to the base, I was super hungry. We all were. I could literally eat a cow. But instead they had lentil dal, and so I had that. Not gonna lie, it was pretty dry and tasteless, but it was all that was really left, and so it did its job.
And do you think there is a life on other planets?
That is the question.
Yes.
But no, really, depend. Like, I don't talking about the bacteria or cyanobacteria. Do you think that there is a life similar with the consciousness
In the
to
solar
ours?
system or out in the galaxy or in the universe?
Okay, even in the different galaxies.
Yes. Yes.
I think that's
You think?
statistically.
No,
I think even in our
You don't?
I think
I don't think so.
we don't understand what we're looking for.
Well, let's see what we
Exactly,
find
that's the
here.
things.
And what did we find in the samples that we took from the deep lake? Look closely. Do you see it? Do you see the thing that's moving? That is what we believe to be bacteria. Yep, life. In a place where you think no life exists.